What if you could look at your life right now and instantly see where you're winning and where your life's falling apart? I did a brutally honest life audit using just 7 categories and scoring myself from 1 to 10, and it revealed to me more than I expected. If you've ever felt stuck or overwhelmed or just not quite right, but not quite ready to make a change or not know what to do, this might be for you. And if you're looking for personal growth, but you're tired of fluff and want to see real change and real results, stick around. Hit subscribe and hit the little bell to be notified when I make a new video. Now, this channel is an ongoing life experiment. I am going to be the scientist and the guinea pig, or in the words of Alexis Carrel, the marble and the sculptor. I'll test stuff and I'll share what works. Welcome to the Get Right Project, a real-time personal development experiment. I'm tracking what works and what doesn't, how to get back on track when things get messy. I'm not a guru, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a guy who hit a point where success in some points in my life left me feeling unfulfilled in other points in my life. So I decided to get right and do something about it. But first, I had to start with an audit. Now, this audit gave me clarity in areas I didn't know I needed and how to prioritize problem areas in my life. So here's how I broke it down. I scored myself from 1 to 10 in 7 categories, and I added notes for what's working and what's not. The method I used is well known by a lot of life coaches worldwide, and it's called the Wheel of Life. Now, my Wheel of Life is a little bit different from the original Wheel of Life. The original categories for the Wheel of Life are career, financial, spiritual, physical, intellectual, family, and social. So we're going to modernize this a bit and update it to health and wellness, wealth and finance, career and business, relationship and personal life, personal development, time and productivity, and adventure and lifestyle. Now, if you want a copy of this to use at home, go ahead and download it from the description box down below. And so I added the Wheel of Life, and I also put a list of questions that are going to help you to assess yourself and assess your life and help you to fill out each section in each category. Now, let's get into my own self-assessment, starting with category number 1, health and wellness. Okay, so physical health, not the worst. But considering that I thought I was pretty healthy, it was a little bit disappointing. I am dealing with a knee injury that's disrupted my usual cardio. My sleep is inconsistent. I often wake up between 2 to 4 a.m. and I have trouble getting back to sleep a lot of times, a lot of nights. I didn't think that was a really big deal, but according to Andrew Huberman, it's kind of a big deal. I also literally just found out that I have high blood pressure, and that was kind of a shock to me. So much of a shock that I recently found myself a trip to the ER, and what happened was I kind of tricked myself into basically thinking I was having a heart attack. And what it was some, I think maybe indigestion, or what they call referred pain, coming from other parts that are tied to nerves connected to the heart. So that, coming with the news that my blood pressure was high, got myself in a feedback loop of anxiety. And I felt like I was having a heart attack. I thought I was gonna die. And I was sitting there, and it was pretty scary. So yeah, but I'm okay. I'm healthy, everything's good. I have some high blood pressure though, and I gotta bring that back down. That's gonna be a priority for me. So I have been following the DASH diet pretty well. I've had hiccups. I've also been doing Andrew Huberman's morning routine to try to reset my internal clock and circadian rhythm and get the sleep and rest that I need. But my mental state is pretty solid overall. I'd like to build a consistent routine and get better sleep. So overall, from 1 to 10, as healthy as I thought I was, I gotta give myself a 5. All right, that takes us to number 2. Wealth and finances. So I said I was going to be real with you guys. So full transparency, cash flow is kind of tight. The good thing is I don't have any major debt. I have a business credit card and I have some merchandise spend a little bit. Nothing major. But with the economy taking a turn for the worse and the tattoo industry hitting an all-time low, even with having a great team, I'm still working toward consistent positive monthly cash flow and proper owner compensation. So long-term, my financial vision is clear, but short-term, I feel like I'm in a transitional spot right now, and the economy being in the state that it is right now, it's making it a little tough. So decent income, but cash flow is rocky. Everything considered, I'm gonna give myself a solid 4. So that brings us to number 3, career and business. Now, while I feel aligned with the purpose behind my work, and I'm building something meaningful through Girls and Roses, and I'm having a great time starting this project, those things help keep me going, but the execution is heavy. I'm working way more than most people, and I'm definitely not getting compensated enough to make it sustainable. It's taking a toll on my time, my health, and my lifestyle. So fulfillment is high in theory, but I'm stretched thin. There's growth and impact, yes, but also isolation and burnout are a risk. So for career and business, I call it a solid 6. Okay, number 4, relationships and social life. I won't get much into family dynamics because that involves other people, and we're talking about me right now. We're talking about my story. But that being said, my relationship with my family is strong and evolving, and I'm always grateful for that. Socially, I often feel like an outsider. Being a second generation Mexican American, growing up, I always kind of felt like society has seen me as less than. I was raised in a tough environment where I learned to deal with adversity through aggression. And while I've unlearned that, I haven't yet fully learned how to process adversity in a healthy social way. So because of that, I tend to either withdraw or isolate to avoid potential conflict. I don't want no trouble. I'm just trying to get through this, you know what I'm saying? And some of you have probably noticed, I also have what they call a lazy eye, which kind of makes it difficult for people to tell when I'm looking at the camera. And I've learned to deal with it. I've learned to adapt, but a lot of times it makes social interactions awkward because people don't know if I'm looking at them or not at times. Now, I do not ever condone making myself a victim or thinking of myself as a victim. And I always try to find a healthy, positive way to overcome adversity, which is why I'm here. And if you're here too, you probably feel the same way. But sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes making and maintaining friendships outside of business is difficult for me. And sometimes actually, a lot of times, I kind of feel like I don't belong. So some relationships are deep, others require work, others are non-existent and they need to be built. But again, that's why I'm here. I'll get through it. I don't know, maybe some of you guys feel the same way, but let me know in the comments too. Shit, that's why we're here. We'll get through this. I'll get through it, you'll get through it. So this is probably one of the most painful scores for me. But again, that's why I'm here. And I'll go through it. And you will too. So, for social life and relationships, I had to score myself a 5. Okay, quick gut check. If you had to rate your life right now, which category would score the lowest? Drop a number or the category in the comments down below, and I will respond to every comment. Okay, number 5, one of my personal favorites, personal development. I'm always learning every chance I get through books, audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube, seminars, courses, like whatever I can get my hands on, whatever I can get my eyes and ears on, I'm all there. I love growth. So it's one of my favorite things. Ever since I was 16 years old, I found a copy of Wayne Dyer's Your Erroneous Zones, and I misread it and thought it said Your Erogenous Zones, but it turns out there was nothing erogenous about the book at all. But the things that Wayne Dyer had to say in the book made a lot of sense to me. And so yeah, I was hooked on just personal development and learning about myself and kind of taking care of myself ever since then. So doing a life audit like this and this type of thing is exactly the kind of work that I like to do that helps me grow. And like, no matter where I am in life, I always feel like I am where I'm supposed to be, but I'm always still wondering, where am I supposed to go from here? So my mindset is generally strong. I sometimes wrestle with anxiety and decision fatigue and a lot of overthinking. I definitely have say for personal growth. I'll give myself an 8. Okay, enough of that. Let's do number 6, time and productivity. So this was rough. My habits are good, but I often waste a lot of time and a lot of hours overthinking and overanalyzing things. So while I've never been diagnosed, I do have ADHD tendencies, and what I've heard people call monkey brain, kind of make organization kind of tough. A lot of times I lose momentum from decision fatigue, and a lot of times I'll get stuck in planning loops, which is probably why it took me so long to even get this video started. I wanted to make sure things were right before even started the video, and I kind of just said, let's go through it. So a lot of this isn't even going to be perfect, because I had to get myself out of that at that point. When I am in the flow, I'll usually crush it, but getting there a lot of times is the problem. I constantly need to refine and rebuild my systems so that it actually reduces the anxiety and the monkey brain. So while I love building systems, my obsession with building systems definitely stems from the fact that dealing with neurodivergent tendencies kind of makes it so that I have to. So for time and productivity, let's say a solid 4, maybe 5. Okay, now last but definitely not least, and I mean that with every fiber in my being, number 7, adventure and lifestyle. So my work-life balance is a lot more work than life right now. Work kind of is my life, which generally is okay, but I'm pouring a lot into the business, and without generating enough revenue to pay myself a living wage, it kind of feels like my lifestyle is on permanent hold. I haven't been able to travel much, and yes, Stephanie and I do get to have a date night every now and then. We do get to have family nights every now and then. There is some time for creativity every here and then, but honestly, I feel like I'm really stretched thin. And a lot of times it feels like I'm working just to keep things moving, grinding along, you know? And that's not going to be sustainable long term, even if I do believe in what I'm building. I want to be able to experience more life. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to relax sometimes. I want to be able to do creative things outside of work without feeling guilt, without feeling financial stress. So there is some lifestyle there, but I've been playing too small for too long. And unfortunately, this score for adventure and lifestyle is going to have to be a weak 4. So let's review, let's wrap this thing up. Looking at all my scores, what patterns did I notice? What patterns did you notice? I feel like there's been a clear mismatch between how hard I'm working and what I'm getting in return. I feel like in terms of health, income, and lifestyle, I'm not getting enough back in return. I'm building with intention, but I feel like my body and my nervous system have taken a hit just to keep the business alive. I'm sure probably a lot of you out there are feeling the same. I've prioritized output over sustainability, and it's showing up as burnout, interrupted sleep, and a lifestyle that feels stalled. At the same time, my vision is alive, my relationships that I do have are solid, my personal development is active, and my creative ambition is still just as strong as ever. But I'm pushing through with the dead battery, you guys. And right now, I'm ready to flip the script, plug this baby in, and get some get right. Okay, so which areas need my attention first? The obvious first step for me is my health, starting with nutrition. My blood pressure, sleep, and stress levels are too important to put on the back burner. And if I don't get my body stabilized and restored, I don't think I'll have the energy and the capability and the capacity to work on all the other areas. Once I'm consistently fueling myself, being energized, getting better sleep, getting myself in better shape, then I'll have the energy stores to address finances, to address the business, and address all these other areas in my life. I'm pretty good at half speed, I'm not gonna lie, but at full speed, I'm a force to be reckoned with. And I haven't felt that in a while, since before 2020, to be honest. This isn't just a reset for the business, this is also a reset for myself. So before I can get my money right, I'm gonna have to get my health and wellness right. So if you feel like this tracks with you, I built a simple one-page worksheet that walks you through this exact life audit. And a wheel of life to record your assessment. Score yourself, add notes. The link is in the description. It's free to download. Go get it, go grab it. Take the first step in getting your life right. You don't have to do it all right now. Take the first step. That's what I'm doing. I'm just taking the first step. Actually, first few steps. If you got even a little bit of insight from this video, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe button, hit the little bell, get notified, stick with me on this journey, follow along with me. I'm gonna be doing some crazy life-changing stuff. It's gonna change my life for sure. Hopefully it helps you change your life for the better too. I'll come back for the next video and let's get right.